Is Ethiopian military following in the footsteps of the Eritrean military? Evidence now in circulation about the conscription, forced recruitment by the Ethiopian military. Welcome to my views and news. Thank you for watching the channel. Good to be with you. I spoke about conscription by the Ethiopian National Defense Force in a video yesterday. I responded to some claims made by General Jula, Field Marshal of the Ethiopian military. And after that, loads of pieces of evidence were shared by people. Videos now have also been shared about the conscription in Ethiopia. Secondly, TPLF talked about accountability. The Gabriel Mikhail spoke about accountability and called for international investigation into human rights abuses in Tigray. Where was TPLF when the International Inquiry Commission uh, stopped working? Its mandate was not renewed. Lastly, Somalia viewers, where the parliament, a committee of the parliament has raised objections to Somalia's oil and gas deal with Turkey. Let's start, viewers, with the first story, which is about Somalia. I have been updating you about a controversial deal, secret deal signed by the government of Somalia and Turkey. Somalia signed that deal to undermine Ethiopia's Somaliland MOU. It signed the deal to get support from Turkey, military support in terms of provision of weapons and training, etc. But Somalia gave away its resources very cheap to Turkey. This is now what is clear because the deal has been leaked. The deal was not leaked last year. It was signed in April, in March. Back then, it was kept confidential, but now the contents of the deal have been leaked and people are criticizing it. Some are defending it as well, but majority seems to be unhappy with the deal because this deal has more for Turkey than for Somalia. A Somalia's parliamentary committee, which is about natural resources, parliamentary committee on natural resources has rejected Somalia-Turkey oil gas exploration deal, saying that deal is unfair for Somalia. It has more for Turkey than for Somalia. This committee is a parliamentary committee. Members of parliament are members of this committee. They were not aware of this deal. Deal was signed without taking them on board. Hassan Sheikh government, Hassan Sheikh himself, a few ministers knew about the deal. They finalized it without taking all the parliament members on board. If you remember, I said last year that such decisions which are about the future of the country, which are about the natural resources of the country, should not be made unilaterally by one party, by one individual. I said that all stakeholders, internal Somalia stakeholders, should be taken on board. Deal should be made public. Public discussion should be held. Parliament should hold discussions, and then it should be signed. It should be transparent. But this process was not adopted last year. Deal was signed. It was rushed, rather, just to force Ethiopia from implementing MOU with Somaliland. Yes, the government was in trouble last year. It was badly in need of allies, but Turkey exploited Hassan Sheikh government's weakness and got a deal of its choice, it seems. Now, gradually, opposition is growing to the deal in Somalia, and I think Al-Shabaab will use it as a propaganda point. Al-Shabaab will it's already telling its followers that Hassan Sheikh government has given away all the resources to Turkey. Turkey is playing a role in the fight against Al-Shabaab. It is providing weapons, drones, etc. to Somalia's government. But Al-Shabaab very critical of Turkey. Now it's using this deal as a propaganda to gather more support in Somalia. Secondly, what TPLF says that international investigation is needed to hold people accountable for committing human rights abuses during Tigray war. The best Secretary Mikhail spoke on it yesterday. He said that there won't be any lasting peace until there is accountability. Accountability can only come if investigation is international. It should be conducted by an international body. Now, we know that UN Human Rights Council once established an international inquiry commission to investigate the human rights abuses during Tigray war. Ethiopian government refused to cooperate with that commission. TPLF welcomed it, but the commission members were never allowed to visit Tigray. So it could not work. It only worked remotely. When commission's mandate expired, commission was formed before Pretoria. Back then, TPLF welcomed it and federal government rejected it. But after Pretoria, both of them went quiet. When commission's mandate expired, it was not renewed. TPLF did not say a word. TPLF did not call for extension of the mandate of the commission. Rather, back then, Getachew, Debretsion were on one page. They were hand in glove with federal government, and commission was killed silently. No one said a word. Now, the Debretsion group is back to business, asking international community to intervene, to start international investigation. Why? TPLF is not interested in pressing the case for this investigation. Basically, it wants a restoration of its status. It knows a decision is coming. NEBE could cancel TPLF's registration. TPLF wants a restoration of its status, which has not happened so far. It is building pressure upon the federal government. That is why it is using the issue of accountability, issue of international inquiry. Otherwise, had it been so interested in international investigation, it should have done its best to ensure that the mandate of UN Commission is extended, but it expired and TPLF stayed silent. Last words. Now the issue of conscription in Ethiopia is turning into a serious issue. I criticize Eritrea, that Eritrean government forces its youths in military. Youths are forced to serve in military. They are forced to serve indefinitely at national service. They are forced to go to Sawa to. If they don't go to Sawa, they are forced to go there. Their family members of recruits are harassed, arrested sometimes. So conscription is systematic in Eritrea. Eritrea does not say that it forces its people into military, but it has linked military service to education. So youths have to go to Sawa. Ethiopia never systematically practiced conscription in recent years. But now it seems that systematically conscription is being practiced. Youths are being forced to join the military. Jula yesterday claimed that he had built a professional army, largest in the Ethiopian history, equipped with modern weaponry, fully capable of defending Ethiopia. I criticized Jula. I said that in Adama, people are being arrested, youths are being arrested. Now, from more parts of Oromia especially, reports and news are coming in showing that youths are being detained. Money is demanded for their release. If they pay money, they're released. Otherwise, they have to serve. They're being told to go to the training centers to serve in the military. From several locations in in the Oromia region of Ethiopia, such reports have been received. Joar has shared some details too after my video about the places where conscription is happening. He raised this issue a few weeks ago as well. Human rights organizations also confirming now that conscription is happening in Ethiopia. Jawar has published a video which is from Assasa, RC, where hundreds of youths were imprisoned at a camp there by the military. The youths managed to escape, and he has shared the video of youths escaping from this detention camp. There are similar detention camps in different parts of Oromia, youths being arbitrarily arrested from the streets of main cities. They're being forced to join the military. Is this how you build a professional military? Do you expect these forced youths to fight for Ethiopia? How can you force them? I mean, you cannot brainwash them. Basically, you're destroying your institution. Conscription will never lead to building a strong military. Basically, ENDF is following in the footsteps of EDF, Eritrean Defense Force. Joa said in his post that this conscription is because of the losses suffered by military in Oromia, in Amhara, and a preparation for Ethiopia-Eritrea war. Watch the video from Assasa, where youths escaped a camp. Hundreds of youths managed to escape this camp. Thanks for watching.